What's going on, world? This is Phace, and welcome back to Burnt and Early, your weekly cannabis news show. This is episode 6, so let's go ahead and get into it. This week we'll be talking about 2 or 3 different topics. We're going to be talking about new dispensaries coming to the 804 area in Virginia. We're also going to be talking about my growth process, my downfalls and lessons learned. Also going to be talking about smoke shops and the different smoke shops I've been around and been going to, and things I'm seeing in them and things I want to see in them, and a few things I shouldn't be seeing in them. So let's get into it. So start off, excuse me. So start off, we're going to be talking about green leaf dispensaries. First time I heard of them, they had moved to Richmond and have a big facility in Richmond. As far as I know, they're doing some good things up there. Haven't heard any bad reviews from what I've looked up from them. But quite recently in the news, my local news found out they're coming to Colonial Heights, Virginia, and they're taking over the old Burger King location that's centered right in between the on and off ramps of 95 North and 95 South, by South Park Mall and the Walmart over there in Colonial Heights. Excuse me. Great location, great location, great location. You're guaranteed to see at least 100,000 cars pass by you in a given weekend. On a daily basis, I don't know, but how much cars you may see then, but on a daily basis, you still see a great amount of traffic then. When this facility does open up, from what I've seen, it's going to have a drive-through, so a dispensary with a drive-through as well, and that just adds to the lure of it being right where it is. You can get off the highway, go to the drive-through, get right back on the highway, go where you got to go. Great, great decision to take that location. When 2024 comes, I see the industry booming right there, and I see them making nothing but pure profits when the recreational sale of recreational cannabis leaf comes legal in Virginia, 2024. G Leaf, as they call their short name for green leaf, is G Leaf. G Leaf making this decision to move to Colonial Heights is also going to bring a lot of new jobs to the area. Also, it's going to bring a different type of cannabis business to the area as well. The area is known, it has a lot of smoke shops, vape shops, especially in that little area in the surrounding cities. No dispensaries. So I feel like this is gonna bring it's gonna break the stigma of what vape shops have brought to the area as far as what a vape shop is and smoking and all that entails with it. I feel like starting out with the medical cannabis coming to the area with G Leaf and then broadening its horizon eventually to the recreational side in 2024. I feel that'd be real good, not only for the CBD, but for cannabis education and just cannabis users to educate themselves on what they're putting into their body, not just knowing or calling it, I need that loud. Learn the difference between the indicas, the CBD, learn what you're putting in your body. To move on, talk about learning. Let's talk about what I've learned in my growth process. So a few weeks ago, I say right after episode 5, I started doing my own little growth. I started with my germination. I had did a little bit of indoor and a little bit of outdoor. Um, Failures and achievements in both, but a little bit more failures on my indoor. I chose not to do the elaborate setup with all the lights and the fans and the tent. Just want to go ahead and just do it all natural. As far as what I've seen, there's nothing wrong with that. Seen people have success with the natural, but I've seen people have more success with the elaborate indoor setup too. So me just starting out, I wanted to start out and just test my fingers, test my hands, and the waters on each different style. So for starters, I started out with a straight indoor. Um, Indoor germination. Had a down pack. Put your seeds on a wet paper towel. Keep them in dark for 7 days. Once they start to sprout, put them in your soil and keep them with your light, your dark schedule. Keep your watering good. Put your supplements in later on down the road. Cool, down pack. But what I did not do is set my time schedule so I go back in 7 days. What I did is go back in 14 days. Had good length of my roots. Each root on the 3 seeds I planted were at least 1 to 2 inches, 1 to 1.5 inches, I say. Don't want to over exaggerate, but could not do nothing with it because when I got to it, everything was totally dried out, and it was like a waste of 3 seeds. But luckily, I have an abundance of seeds right now, an abundance of good seeds to use, so I can do that experiment and still just have a learning lesson with it. What I've learned from that is either put your time scale on paper or make a schedule for yourself or make a list, set alarms or something so you actually know what's going on, because growing indoor, growing outdoor, it still takes a lot of your time. And with having a family, having a job, and all that other stuff, you get caught up in life. But if growing cannabis is what you want to do, stay dedicated to it. Make time for it. Once you get everything started, it basically takes care of itself. But you have to make sure you still tend to it. So I also looked up different apps on Google Play Store. There are different apps to assist with new growers as far as setting your time scales and the alarms that come with the app. So that's very helpful as well. There's a variety of different ones. So if you're interested in that, please do go to the Google Play Store, look up cannabis growth apps or cannabis grow, indoor grow, outdoor grow. They give you some tips, tricks, and some little helpful apps there, especially for your first time growers. Now, for my outdoor grow, chose to do it strictly all natural. No germination inside. Just had a seed, picked a good spot where I had some good natural light, dug a little hole, put the seed in there, and let nature take its course. I say that's been a success. I haven't really had any pitfalls on that one. I try to keep any other weeds from around the area. I keep it trimmed. I use scissors to keep everything around it trimmed. I've had to top it off as far as my first flower. That means to cut those first little leaves when the seed pops open, those first little rounded leaves. I cut those off to get a little bit more bloom and blossom on my later grow. They get a little bit more width on it. And from what I seen, that was a good thing for me because those were dying off, and I hadn't seen too much other growth because I was still having too much energy being given to the dead part instead of the living part. So after I cut them off, I seen a lot more growth. So on my outdoor plant, that's still growing. I only did one outdoor because I didn't want to waste a seed on that. But right now, like I said, now I have an abundance of seeds, so I can continue to experiment and see the best way for me to do it. So my next phase is going back to indoor. I'm looking at getting a little setup. I'm not doing nothing too elaborate. A couple LEDs. I'll probably go for the limit right now. It's 4 in Virginia, so I'll probably plant 4 seeds and see how that goes. Just with straight LEDs. I'm not doing any supplements. Like I said, I want to try the all natural way because I believe myself to be a naturalist with cannabis. So I want to try the all natural way, and then later down the line, I can see what I can do. I eventually want to get into the industry, either being a distributor or just within the vending industry with cannabis as well. I feel the vending industry, once again, is going to be a very, very open and bustling industry. A lot of people not looking into with cannabis. A lot of people want to set up the retail stores to get the brick and mortar or go straight online. But with your vending industry, you got to look at how many people come by vending machines. It all depends on the location you put them in. But if you got a good spot and a good location with good product, you can see a good turnover on your vending machine. So people who are looking to get in the cannabis industry and you don't have the amount of money to start, have a big startup or brick and mortar or your online setup, look into vending. As long as you got a good distributor who can give you good product, get a good price on your product, and you have a good turnaround on your vending, look into that. Good money market for you. Now, I want to move on to these smoke shops that's taking over the world right now. I'm seeing an abundance of smoke shops. They're popping up everywhere. To me, I'm seeing them pop up just like alcohol stores did in the neighborhoods in the 90s. Right now, in the area I'm staying in the one shopping center that we do have in my town, it's 3 smoke shops. One just went out of business, but it's no need to have 3 smoke shops in that one small area. But further down the road, outside of the small shopping center, as you exit the town, it's another smoke shop there. So in the one small town I have, which has probably 7 stoplights in it, we have 4, almost 5, well, now 4 operational smoke shops. I don't see the need for that many, but I see the reason why. The money is good. You have the product, supply and demand, and they have a good area as well. The area where we're located is by a military base, so with a lot of military people, the products you offer, which are legal and they can partake in, they can partake because they can't partake in cannabis, then they want CBD. Or they may be heavy smokers, so you still have that product, or vapors. When you have a good location, you make money. And most of these vape shops I'm seeing are picking prime locations. But with the good, there are bad. As I travel to different ones, I like to travel up and down the East Coast, so I go to a lot of different smoke shops. I've seen some owners who know what they're doing. I've seen some owners who hire people who know what they're doing. I've seen owners who are dumb as hell and don't know what they're doing. I've seen owners who hire people who don't know what they're doing and dumb as hell too. So let's go over a few things I've seen in these smoke shops and what needs to be done and what can be done better. One thing, I'm seeing in most places, I'm seeing a mixture of young and uneducated people being hired at cheap rates, just because they're warm bodies and people can get them there to do a remedial job, just ringing people up. But with cannabis becoming more mainstream and CBD becoming more mainstream, when people come into these vape shops, they are not only looking to purchase a product, they're looking to try to get educated on something as well, because they're putting this into their body. They may be new into this new wave that's going on, and they want to partake, but they're timid because they don't know what they're doing or know what's the best product, and the people in there just don't know this sells the best. It's not about what sells the best, because what sells the best may just be the most popular. What may be the most potent or may be the best for a certain ailment or a certain thing may not be the best or the most popular thing. So it's about knowing your products and having the education to promote and sell to a certain customer. That's not what I'm seeing in these stores, in most stores. Now, I have been to one or two stores where we have people there who are on point. They do their research. They're smokers as well, so they can pinpoint and show you certain things they've tried, certain things they wouldn't want you to try, don't recommend, and they know about their products, and they're more consistent on their knowledge and their salesmanship and their customer service. Those are the places I recommend. I'm working on currently trying to get an interview or at least a tour with a smoke shop, a local smoke shop that I frequent, because shit, I just want to promote them, man, get them more business in, because I like the way they do their thing. And the variety of products they have is a great spread. That brings me back to another point. In most stores that I'm seeing, most smoke shops or vape shops, whatever you want to call them, they got the same stuff. It's real repetitive. Regardless of what store you have, it's the same setup, same items, the same locations, no variety. Where the CBD ointments, where the infused other foods. Everyone has gummies. Where about breath strips? Give more variety of things that may entice more customers to spend more money in your stores. When you see the same things everywhere you go, it becomes real monotonous. And it's like, why do I want to keep going to these stores when I can go online and I get a wide variety? People go into stores for not only for variety, but for the experience and the customer service. So if you're going somewhere, you're uneducated, don't know what you're talking about, your customer service sucks, and you have the same thing the next man across the street got, you're not making no money, you're not bringing no customers in. So these things have to be changed. Another thing I'm seeing is an inconsistency in the pricing of flower from store to store. Now, regardless, if you have CBDH, THCH, THCO, CBD, G, CBDP, whatever you have, the pricing should be consistent from store to store. Now I can understand you may want to make a little bit more off here, maybe make up a little bit more off here. But as I've gone from store to store, I've seen some people have grams of CBD for up to $8.99 for the tax. Cool. But I've also been to places who have the same exact flower for $1.99. So that shows me that the price is controlled not only just by the person who owns the store, but you're just trying to get that much more money off of it. Where's the consistency? Once I found that place with the same potency, same product, I go to that one person who has the educated person with the good prices. The location may suck. Yeah, it's a little bit out the way, but I'll put that little bit more gas in to go have that good experience and get that great price. A lot of people are losing out. A lot of smoke shops are losing out because of these things, and I don't see a customer or one of these employees telling their supervisor, "Hey man, if we change these things, we may see more money." No, they just want to go with the flow because they see the money they can bring in, so they're just going to settle for that. When the market is open market right now, and the amount of money could be brought in, is endless. Excuse me again. These CBD stores, these vape stores, these smoke shops, whatever you want to call them, once cannabis, the legal sale of recreational cannabis becomes legal in 2024, the best ones are going to be the ones to see the most money. Those of you out there who keep hiring these uneducated people, your prices suck, you don't have variety, your location is horrible, and it's an all around just poor experience for someone to come into your store. You're gonna lose out because regardless of what you have, you're not gonna be able to sell it because no one wants to come to your store. Those CBD stores or vape stores or smoke shops, whatever you want to call them, who are flooding certain areas, you're gonna be you're gonna lose money. You can't flood the market in a small area and still expect, to flourish and get the same amount of money you can if you're in a certain area and you hold down business. It's one thing when you have competition, but it's another thing when the market is flooded and everybody has the same shit and no one has nothing different. Those people who continue to bring variety in their stores will continue to see their revenue rise. It's all about variety. Look into different stuff other than inhaling stuff. Look into getting stuff about ingestion into your stores. Get these cannabis and CBD teas into your stores. Get some of these CBD drinks into your stores. It's a lot of different stuff you could bring into your stores that could bring a lot of money and a lot of revenue, especially with this health kick wave coming off. So business owners out there, do your research. Don't just continue to get the same humdrum inventory that the next man got. Switch it up. Sometimes you have to take a chance on business to make that next dollar. You may bring that next hot product in that the next man in the next state don't have. No one in your state has, but you may be the only one with it. But once you get it, boom, you hit that big wave. Sometimes you gotta take a business risk. And in cannabis right now is all about a business risk. If you can afford to get into it, get into it. One thing I spoke on earlier before in previous episodes is big pharma get into it. I recently read a article about Johnson & Johnson wanting the FDA to go ahead and set the regulations for CBD so they can go ahead and put their CBD gummies out. One thing I was worried about before is big pharma getting into it and having too much control into it. Of course, with anything that has anything medical in it or any medical aid in it or can aid you medically, big pharma is going to have their hand into it. Hopefully they'll put some strict regulations so they won't be able to have too much control on what's done in this industry. But that's neither here nor there to be said. We'll see how that goes, but I'm not going to be too optimistic on that one. Normally an optimistic person, but when it comes to this, pessimistic all the way. I see big pharma getting their hands in and making this industry just as much shit as everything else they touch. But I'm just Phace from the Podnas, man. And this has been Burning Early, episode 6. Thank you for tuning in. Before you go, just want to let y'all know y'all can come check us out at thepodnas.com to find out anything about the Podnas. The newest episodes are posted up there. You can also find our podcast on anything streaming podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Anchor.fm. Also, come check us out at ourtradeclothing.com. New spring and summer line coming out real soon. We just put out a new slide line. If you're familiar with Nike slides, Reebok slides, or just any type of slide, get your comfortable slide on new Arethe and AC83 slides. We're the only place you can find any AC83 gear and the official place to get all Podnas podcast merchandise. Once again, I've been Phace, 1/3 of Podnas. Thank you for tuning in. Hit me up next week for episode 7.